Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber. Thank you for stopping by for some baseball action. This is the 1967 Boston Red Sox replay, game number 11. We're playing this season to see how Yastrzemski does in the board game versus what he did in real life when he won the Triple Crown. This game 11, like I said, Boston's visiting Washington. As you can see up there, Boston is 5-5 right now, and Washington is at 6-4. We got Santiago on the mound for Boston and Pete Reichert for Washington. Okay, so here we go. Let's get her going.
Play ball!
All right, Reggie Smith to the plate. He's a left-handed hitter, so a left-handed pitcher, so Reggie will be batting right-handed today. We got 303 versus the righty. 303, and that's a ground ball down the third. There's Dalton Jones. Nine. I'm not sure you can see all the dice when they come out of there. Can't move them up, but it's 9-18 versus the left-handed hitter. 9-18. That's a soft grounder down to first. 2 outs. Here's Carl. Here's the man. Says here he's batting .421. Got 3 homers, 11 RBIs, 10 games. That's a pretty good pace there. 226 versus the lefty. 226. And he struck him a big strikeout there, folks. And Boston goes down quietly. On the mound today, getting one of his rare starts. Hey, Jose Santiago on the mound for Boston right now, and here comes Brinkman to the plate for Washington. Bottom of the first. 0-8-6. He's a righty. 0-8-6. And we've got an error check. We're going to check the error on the pitch. Okay. We're going to be looking right here at his error check. It's going to be a 5. Okay. We're going to roll 2. 75. Okay, so dribbler in front of the fielded by the pitcher. An off-balance throw to first is wild. Batter to second. Okay, so they're going to call it a base hit and an error. Okay, so we're going to go base hit. Then an error by the pitcher. And this guy's going to second. That should work, I hope. So here comes Jim King to the plate. Yeah, I'm not happy. His throw is way off balance. 890 versus the lefty. 890. 890 struck him out. I love that the Action PC has put it in there so you can do manual entry, then it keeps all your stats for you. Here comes Fred Valentine, center fielder. This one's way back there. 836 versus the he's both, so he's going to be lefty. 836. He struck him out. Santiago trying to get tough after making that error. And here's big Frank Howard. Lots of power with this man. .292 versus the righty. .292, and he struck him out. What a comeback after committing the error. Santiago strikes the next three guys out. And we are going to the top of the second, folks. Riker back on the mound for Washington. See, his card says Baltimore, but that's because he got traded later on. So there's a couple cards I couldn't find for this game, so I had to make some substitutions. Here's Tony Conigliaro. Tony playing right field today. Sox. .694 versus the righty. Right there, 6-9. Oh, it's a deep drive for Conigliaro. And Tony's power, let's get his power, and it's a versus a lefty. And it's a B power. Tony is a right pull hitter. So first of all, we're going to see where he hit it. 57, right pull. Okay, hit it in the left center. So now we're going to see this distance on the beat power, and there's a +10 because the wind is blowing out, but this stadium, the ball carries at a -5. So we're going to have a +5 on the distance. 15 on the B. 15. So that's 320 feet. If we go over to the Washington there, we go to left field, and 320 is just a long fly out. Tony got a hold of it. We'll give it to the center fielder since it was left center. Here comes Rico Petrocelli. .979 versus the righty. .979. We got to ground out the third. George Scott playing first base today for Boston. 155 versus the lefty. That could be a good one. 155. Your eyes in focus there, and then we got a base hit in the left. Russ Gibson, the catcher. .350 versus the lefty. Tough time seeing here. Okay, versus the lefty, that's just a ground out to short. That'll be 3 outs. Ground out to second. What a second coming up there, folks. And Harrelson coming to the plate. Okay, Ken Harrelson. Got myself a little confused there because of that Boston, but that's one of 3 teams, and he had not made it to Boston yet. He's on Washington at this point in time in the season. Santiago facing Harrelson. 227 versus the righty. 227 struck him out. These pitchers are starting to deal, folks. Here comes Bernie Allen. Second baseman. 473. 473. And there's a fly out the center. And McMullen. Having himself a pretty good season, I think. Yeah, 417. Got 2 homers, 6 RBIs. 2 outs here. 0-0-8. That's going to be against the righty. 0-0-8, and that's a line out to the shortstop. We're going to the top of the third. Take yourself a little break there. Go down there and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. If you're watching, put some comments down there. Do you like? This is just for, I don't think I told you. The cards and dice are Dynasty League Baseball, number 1967. On the book, it's Action PC Plus is up on the screen that I record the action in, and they keep the stats. Saves me a lot of time when I'm doing replays like this. And so, let me know. Do you play either one of these? Do you like them? Do you have them? What kind of baseball games do you like if you don't play either one of these? If you like baseball. If not, what's your favorite sports games? Okay, here we go. Mike Andrews, top of the third. 6-0-9. Mike's a righty. Here, and there's a ground out to short. This is the second game in the series they're playing, and then Boston will be moving on. Washington won the first game. Here's the pitcher, Santiago, batting. 933. He's a right-handed hitter, right? Correct. 933, and there's a fly out to center. Another one. Top of the order coming up. I have to watch these guys. Both of these guys are 25s on their endurance numbers, but that's going through almost to the full third time. Here's Reggie Smith, batting left-handed here. 5-11 versus the lefty. Oh, we got a bizarre play. Let's get the bizarre chart and I'll read it to you. Get one or two of these a game. It's okay, it's not too many. Here we go. Bizarre play, 876. 875. Right, so where you at here? 875, 875. That's a balk. There's nobody on base, so it's not going to count. There's a lot of people don't like the Dynasty because of all the chart lookups and everything, but it provides a lot of detail and flavor text to your games. In here, still pitching to Smith. 484 versus the lefty. 484, and that's a high fly out to the left. That's it for Boston on top of the third. Santiago back on the mound. Doug Camilli getting a chance to catch today. The other catcher was supposed to have been a guy, but I didn't have the card for him, so I had to substitute for him. And I substituted for him instead of the regular catcher because the regular catcher was sitting out this game too, just to try to make it as good as I could possibly get. And here's a right hitter facing this guy. 875. 875 struck him out. Santiago nailing these strikeouts. And here comes the pitcher, Pete Reichert. .157 versus the righty. 157 struck him out. Pitcher's not hit too well that back in the day. And here's Brinkman, top of the order, second time. 174. Struck him out. My goodness gracious. Santiago would not normally start a lot of games, but he's doing dandy right now. Okay, we are going to the top of the fourth, folks. Reichert back on the mound. There's Dalton Jones at the plate. .901 versus the lefty. There's a ground ball down to first. There's Carl. Struck out his first time. A lot of guys have been striking out though. 254 versus the righty. No, the lefty. 254? This time Carl draws a walk. One on, one up. Tony Canigliaro. .64. Okay, we got a ground ball, the third. Okay, with the runaround, we're going to check it out. It's a regular ground ball, and we got a fielder's choice at second base. Fielder's choice. 5-4. And Petroselli's up. .763. 763. There's a base hit in the right, and they're going station to station. George Scott, 2 on, 2 out. Boston put a little threat here. 6-13 versus the righty. 6-13 versus the righty, and there is a ground out to short. It's out of the jam. Okay, bottom of the fourth. Santiago back out there again. Jim King. 0 for 1 today. 6-23 versus the lefty. Ground ball on second base. Andrews picks it up, fires it over to Scott, and there's one. Valentine. Lefty also. Lefty today. 957, 956. And he, good eye, draws the walk. They get themselves a guy out there on base. Okay, big Frank Howard. He needs to be careful pitching to this guy. 223 versus the righty. 223, and he draws the walk. So they now have 2 guys on this inning. There's only 1 out. Ken Harrelson. .996. .996. Okay, we got a ground out to third. Let's see what kind of action we got going on here. We got runners on first and second. We got a ground out to third. Okay, looks like it's just going to be a fielder's choice at second base. A fielder's choice. 3, 4, that'll work. And Bernie Allen, 2 outs. Santiago trying to get out of this one. 124 versus the righty. And there is a base hit in the center, folks. Station to station. Washington is on the board. And here comes Ken McMullen. One of their better hitters. 406. And it's a ground out. Down to the third base. Jones Dalton picks it up and fires over for the third out, but they got to run. Okay, top of the fifth. Hope you're all enjoying this. Rickard back out there to face Gibson, the catcher. 6:57. Come on, guys. 6:57. We got a base hit in the left. Mike Andrews. .362 versus the lefty. A little light here. And there we got a base hit in the center. From station to station, folks. Okay. Santiago, the coach calls timeout. He wants to talk to Santiago, see to talk to him about possibly bunting. Oh, he's back up there. He's got the sign. He's going to be trying to bunt. He's a D bunter on natural grass. There we go. 3. Vito. Wait a minute. What do we got going here? Vito. Let me find it. Okay, he's a 3 base runner. We're going to re-roll on 1 die. And it's a 1. It's less than that. It's a perfect bunt down the first baseline. So those runners are going to be going over there. So I don't see bunts anywhere on here. So we'll just do a sacrifice. And so the first. And it looks like that'll work. So there's Santiago helping himself, and here's Reggie Smith now with 2 guys in scoring position, 1 out. Chance to get back and get this game tied up at least. 478 versus the lefty. And it's a high fly ball to center. And possible. What's his speed out there in third? Timeout. It's just going to be a fly out the left. Gibson out there because Howard's got a -1 on his arm. Gibson's only a 3 runner, so it'll make him a 2. That's not very good at all. So here we go. Fly out the left. Here comes Dalton Jones. Are we going to miss this chance? Ricker. 206 versus the lefty. Struck him out. Got out of that jam. Washington remains ahead 1-0. Bottom of the 5th. Camilli, this is his 2nd time. Go out there. Camilli. 261 versus the righty. 261 right here, and it's a ball out the short. And back. Petroselli picks it up, fires it over to Scott. Reichert up for his 2nd appearance at the plate. 27 versus the righty. Yeah, he does butt right. Bat right. No, he bats left. Here's the 727. Right here. Oh, we got a deep drive for the pitcher? Are you kidding me? We got a deep drive for the pitcher versus a right-handed hitter. He has no power at all. So this is just going to be a fly out the right. Here's Brinkman. Here's third time. 0 for 2, struck out once. 0-0-9. That's going to be a top one up there, and we're going to be use that righty, I'll line out the short. Okay, top of the 6th. Reichert back out there. This is Yastrzemski's third time up. Yeah, 0 for 1 plus a walk. Here we go. 955 versus lefty, 955, and there's a fly out the center. There we go. And later, 525. 525. We got the umpire. Nobody on base, so it's not going to work. Still pitching. 943. 943, another fly out to center. Petroselli. 396 versus the righty. No, versus the lefty. 396, and there's a double down the line for Rico. And Scott. .390 versus the lefty. This could be something good here. 390, no, it's a hard ground ball down to Brinkman at short. Picks it up, fires it over to Harrelson, and they are out of there. The bottom of the 6th. Santiago. Listen, Jeff King. This is his third time yet. Up to the top of the order. Here we go. 0-6. Got a good one going here. 353. And there's a ground ball at the second. First. Valentine. 0 for 1 plus a walk. And the strike is walk that struck out. 319. Right here, we got a double down the line in the right field. One out. Washington threatening again. Here's Howard. .754 versus the righty. Oh, we got a deep drive for Frank Howard. First of all, we're going to look at his power versus the righty. He's an A power. I think he's a right pull. We're going to check that first. He is a right pull. Let's see where he hit the ball. 58. He hit it in the left field. He's an A. So we got a +5. Remember I told you about the +10 and the -5 earlier in the game. So we got a +5 and going to left field. He's an A power. 7. 47. So this ball's going 375 feet. We're going to Washington left field. 375. At 370 to 460 is a home run. Frank Howard shows the meaning of power on that baby. Okay, here comes Harrelson. .381. And there's a base hit in the left. They're coming alive. Their bats are alive right now. They're reading Santiago, striking everybody out at the beginning of the game. He has lost it. 9-13 versus the lefty. And there's a base hit. Where's the station to station? Okay, where are we at? Mullen. Yeah, he is their 25th hitter. This reaches the maximum. We're going to try to get through the inning. After this one, I'll tell you what happens after this one. Mullen. 7-7-7 versus the... Oops, let's get Mullen up there first. 7-7-7 versus the righty. Struck him out. 2 down. Now, any two guys, the next two guys that get on base are the Max Santiago can stay in. We're hoping we can get them through to a pinch hitter. Okay. There's Camilli. 2 outs. 7-16 versus the righty. Oh, we got another deep drive. And he's a C hit. C power. They're hitting Santiago pretty hard right now. He's a C power. He's a right spray. Let's see where he hit the ball. 6. He hit it down the left field line. What did I say his power was? C power. All right, let's go to this C power chart. .94. He might have hit this baby. C. 94. Goodbye. 405 feet. Camilli just getting a play. Just put an inning. They just blew up this Boston team here. All right. They said Camilli. All right. Santiago, get one more guy out of here. Get the pitcher out. .103 versus the righty. And it's a foul. We got a large foul territory. 8. Large foul territory, 8, and it's foul ball into the stands. Right card. He ended in the right field last time up. 885 versus the lefty. Struck him out. That was a disastrous inning, folks. A disaster. There's now 6-0. Reichert back out there on the mound. Face Gibson. Gibson is his 25th, and he's a 25. Also, but he's pitching a shutout. We're going to try to get him in if we can. Here we go. He might not let 2 guys back on again. Here we go. Gibson. 792 versus the righty. 792, and there's a base hit in the center. They're not going to give up. Okay, that was 25. Countdown's counting. Here's Andrews. 160, which is the lefty. And so that's a long fly up the center. Santiago is called back to the dugout. They're going to send a pinch hitter in. Okay, Tony Horton's got a bat. 1 on, 1 out. Here we go. He's batting for the pitcher here. 454 against the lefty. 450, and there's a fly out to left. And top of the order, Reggie Smith. .621 versus the left versus the righty. 621, and there's a fly out to right, fly out to left. We'll track where the outs was, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to be having a pinch hitter, folks. I mean, a relief pitcher. Billy Rohr is on the mound for Boston, and his what is he? He's along, so that's in relief. So that's going to be 15. Okay, Brinkman. His guard. Yep, here we go. Order is a lefty. 430 against the lefty. Fly out to center. Jim King. See, he struck out, grounded out to second, grounded out to first. .002 is going to be another out, and that's going to be going to be a ground out to second. Valentine. 2 down. Game's over. I'll show you some stats and some other stuff. 9-28 versus the righty. That's a fly out to center. And there they go. Billy Rohr gets them out of there. Bottom. On the top of the 8th. I'm saying bottom. Reichert back out there. This is 25, but he hasn't let anybody on base yet. Dalton Jones. 786 versus the lefty. That's a ground ball out to second. Soft grounder out to second. 786. No, let's do this again. 786 versus the lefty. He struck him out. Yeah, it's 0 for 2 today. What has he done so far today? He's on a 6-game hitting streak. Struck out, walked, and flied out. 6-game hitting streak, it says there. 7-game hitting streak. 330 versus the lefty. That should have got him up out of that range that it was in before. 330. It does not. Struck him out again. Yes. Arrow. 777 versus the righty. 777. Struck him out. Riker pitching himself a doozy. Okay, bottom of the 8th. Billy Rohr back out there again. Comes Frank Howard. Started that big inning off with a 2-run shot. 984. There's a hard ground ball down the third. Picked up by Dalton Jones and fired over to first. 1 out. Harrelson. 005. Way up there on the top, 005, and then there's a line out to short. It tells you when you do something wrong. I like that. Okay, here's Bernie Allen. He's 2 for 3. What's he done? Doesn't show. Won't show me for him. How come? All right, doesn't matter. It's up there. 2 for 3 in the game. 980 versus the lefty. 980, and that's a high fly out the center. We are going to the top of the ninth. Last chance. Boston would love to get on the board, so at least they don't get shut out. Here's Petrocelli to the plate. Reichert pitching to Denny. He hasn't let a guy on since he got to his 25. Petrocelli. It's 2 for 3. 821 versus the righty. Fly out to right, not to left. Scott. .559 versus the righty. Oh, we got an infield range. First time we've had an infield range the whole game. And he's a right spray. Go to the infield range chart. Check right spray and see what's happening. 0-4. Okay, this is a slow roller down the third baseline. We're going to be checking Mullen. Mullen is a plus. Down here, we can find slow roller. Find A plus. We can find 34. Nipped. Let's see if there's anything for nipped. Nipped. Charges. Fires to first. And the runner's bench will get them up. Just got it. Close play. So we're going to slow grounder. Charges in. Mullen charges in. Fires it over to first. Be 2 down. And here's Gibson. He's 2 for 3 today also. Same amount of hits as the power balls that got him out of the game. The power shots. 292 versus the lefty. 292 right there. And there's a hard ground ball. The shortstop picks it up, fires it over. And that is going to be the ball game, folks. 6-0. Woo. Wow, what a dandy. What a dandy. All right, so there we go. You can see the at-bats in that. Petrocelli and Gibson both had 2 hits out of the for Boston. Yastrzemski dropped his average down to 390. And Howard batting 325. Get that home run. And Camellia at 364. He don't play very much. We got Santiago there for Boston taking the loss. Roar pitched 2 innings of a nice ball. Let's see what we got. We'll go to pitching. Then we got a complete game by Reichert. He's 2-0 now going in the season. Nice game. All right, it can show you a lot of other stuff too, like miscellaneous things and score sheets like this here and that. And so we'll go back to batting. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go out here. So I want to show you the standings and stuff like that. All right, so we're going to go into this play. This is October 25th. To October 25th, and we're going to play October 25th because Boston and Washington don't play another game. So we're going to say we're playing the rest of them for that day. All right, they all have been played. As you can see now, Washington is a game and a half behind. Boston's falling down 3.5 behind. Over here, St. Louis in the National League in first place. Let's say we'll go back out here again. Didn't want to do that. I don't want to make a mistake either. All right, here we go. This is the same stats. Washington at second, one or third, 1.5 out. And over here in the American League, we got Yastrzemski batting .390 in second place. Runs batted in, he's got 11. He isn't in the home run yet, Mark. But the home run, look at that Howard for Washington. He's got 5 of them. Okay. So I hope you all enjoyed that, and come back again. See me. SoCal Saber saying take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other and stay safe.